Things are good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm on my lunch break now, which is very, very nice. And I get to have a lesson, and
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. So, I see we are up against Takeshi. That name has come up definitely with Kush.
Gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, very powerful opponent, I take it.
Yeah, he's like around the level of BS, who's like the other Marth that I fight a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think BS is like probably slightly better overall. Um, but Takeshi like plays a more like I would say like kind of like Mewtwo King-esque kind of style, like likes to just be real kind of patient and then just go for like really flowcharty kind of edge guards, and he's really consistent with them. So that can be kind of a challenge.
Gotcha. So, what would you say are the? So, what do you think you did well this set? What do you think you could have done better? And what do you think he did well? And what do you think that you want to see improved for next time?
Yeah, if I so it's I like looked over the set briefly after it happened last week, and I haven't really seen it since then. But if I recall correctly, I just remember him being really like reactive just to my options in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just remember him just waiting out a lot of my decisions. But I did feel that I was better at lasering, and I was more committed to repositioning with laser rather than like overextending for like an unnecessary, like attempt at winning neutral. And I think that has been applying to a lot of areas of my play in general recently. So, but I think it's going to be super important in the Marth matchup, particularly because I just need to make sure he can't get away with the stuff that he normally does.
Perfect. So,
Um,
we've got repositioning with laser has helped you deal with him. That definitely makes sense against a really reactive opponent because lasers are kind of like they're an undershoot and an overshoot. So because they have that
yeah,
like dual function, if somebody's playing reactively, it usually means that they're doing some kind of like with punish or they're doing something that is in response to what you're doing, and there aren't many good responses to lasers in general. That's part of why they're so good. So
yeah,
with that, let's think here, let's take a look at this and see what we can come up with, because I think one area that I might, when people say they were good about repositioning, one concern I have is, are we repositioning too much? so
yeah, sure.
so like what I'm curious is are we leaving opportunities to like fight on the table? So far I like what I'm seeing. I know that he's gotten like a small lead, but like I think that the way that you're going about, yeah, like that was well done. This I think could have been a nair. This I think needed to be a nair, but that's just a small move selection thing. Um,
Yeah. I see. I see what you're saying. Totally, totally.
yeah, because like think of it this way: we knocked him out of the air, like we hit him out of the air. So like once we have confirmation of, I think that when we hit this kind of laser, we need to just quickly like mentally confirm what state he was in, like how high was the laser on his frame when it hit him, right? Because, like, from here, like, this is where we hit him. Let's slow this down so we can get, like, a proper diagram. But, like,
Yeah.
you can see what I mean here. Like, this connected, like, on him, on his leg, basically, when he was at the peak of his jump. So, I would say let's figure out what our game plan is for different laser height, no, for different heights, I think, if you want. Do you think that would be useful?
I'll repeat that. I'm so sorry. There's a car that just drove by me.
No, totally fine. So basically what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
if we take Marth here, and we'll just kind of like make Marth into this like kind of like box.
What what follow up off that height do you think would be most appropriate?
Yeah, and like what if he's like, what if we hit him, what if he's at a different height? Like, so I'm thinking like right now Marth's ECB is basically like here, right? But
Yeah.
okay, so at this height. But like what if we hit him at this height, right? So if he was like lower, because then that means his body shifts down a bit. Like from here he goes to here. So my question
That's
is,
true.
yeah. So what I'm really wondering, I guess, is if Marth is higher or lower, what do you think the follow ups would look like? Like are like that's what I'm thinking might be worth exploring. So if Marth's ECB is like here, and we'll denote it with the orange thing because that's what it'll appear as an Uncle Punch. So if it's here versus here versus here, and we hit him with a laser at each of those, then what do you think the follow-up is?
Probably Nair, right?
I think at these two?
Or
I think at these two, definitely Nair makes sense. What about this bottom one?
down air, maybe?
Yeah, I think that this
Or
one...
another...
Or grab, like, something, like, but, like, something that isn't Nair, because he's at low percent and he's able to, like, crouch cancel grab it on landing, right? So I think at this one, because he's gonna, like, there's so much less space separating him from the ground, because the ground is basically, like, here. I think this one, it makes sense for us to think about, like, down air more when he's, like, this close. So dare here. I think that makes sense. You could also make a case for grab or laser again. Because again, like, if he's going to land within this window, then I think that lasering again is also a consideration.
Totally.
Yeah, because we can just shoot him and lock him down, right? Like, he doesn't have much space to swing his sword at this height on his way down either. But up here, he does. Like, the main thing is that we're also competing with his forward air at these heights.
Yeah. I was playing against Vintage on Saturday, and he kept fairing me, like, after getting lasered. At that spacing, and he kept getting follow-ups out of it. Gotcha. And he's like PR'd, you know, so I would say he is like a scarier threat than Takeshi, but it is something that I started having to think about. I was like, oh, actually, like, at certain spacings, I can get a free laser and still get, like, punished theoretically if I don't space it properly, or, like, my, like, follow-up properly. Cool.
So then let's actually add that. Let's make sure that we're, like, acknowledging that sometimes we do need the second laser. Like, it's the two... This to me is kind of like a moment of the two laser rule. Like, you know how we talked about in the... How with the fiction lesson, like, the fiction video...
yeah.
He talks about, like, how you can get, like, a second laser a lot of the time when you get, like, Yeah, so to me, like... The laser we get here because of Marth's, like, unique stuff, this might just be, like, an opportunity for us to shoot another laser so that we can also, like, get him, like, closer to the ground. Because I think that one other thing that we may want to consider is the reason that down air and grab works on the last one is because he's so much closer to the ground. Like, if he was here, he has to fall this distance before grabbing, or he has to double jump with the fair, which then puts him out of the way of us, because there's not enough time, like, there's not enough time for him to fall with the fair at this point when he's at lower heights. So I think that, like, yeah, that's actually worth noting. Yeah.
Totally.
So I think that, like, this I think is really, like, the green, like, this area here is the green light to go, and this one I think is, like, the areas where we still, like, this height is we still need to approach with caution.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's actually good. Because, yeah, like, when he falls from here to here, he's also incurring the auto-cancel landing, which is, like, huge. And he doesn't have enough time to swing, really. So, this is cool. I like this play. We just want to make sure we're getting close enough. Like, after this, you see what I... Not here... Yeah, this one here. So you get this, like, laser. And you get him in... You get, like... So you see how you're walking towards him?
Yeah.
So something I would consider here is this guy likes to run away into the corner, right?
Yeah.
What if instead of like walking towards him into the corner, we went for something like more aggressive? Like, what I'm thinking here makes a lot of sense is so I think it's this interaction here. Oh no, it's after this one. Oh, Twitch, how I would long for these to be on YouTube. That's okay. So, this here, what I'm saying here is after this landing, when we've confirmed the laser hit him, what if we dash forward and jump cancel grabbed him?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because we just hit him with like a really good laser, and if this guy likes to run into the corner a lot, why don't we help him get there? Like, we can just toss him towards it and, like, put him on the ledge or something, and then he's Marth on the ledge. Yeah,
that's true. Fiction always says, like, Falco's shield pressure in the corner should just, like, result in a grab, basically.
Yeah, and, like,
which is, like... a lot of people just go for things that just, I mean, like the reward's way higher, of course. Like people aren't really enticed by Falco grab too much, but it's just like it's quick and it's safe,
Mm-hmm. So we have, but like this is why we do it. So like after here we can confirm if we had to rewind this like before this, it would be we're currently doing walk after the fast fall.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would say here is instead of doing walk, we'll just dash JC grab. Because I think that this will also... Because the other thing here is we could also potentially dash JC shine.
That's true.
Like, those give us, like... And, like, maybe not at this spacing. I think he's a little too far. But if he was, like, here, like, you could probably do it.
Yeah.
So, like, this gives us power, and this gives us consistent... Like, this one gives us consistency over here. Like, with the grab... That's not a good hand. But, like, you can see what I think you can see what I'm getting at. Like, we have, like, the ability to, like, get our hand... We have the ability to go for, like, a really powerful extension here, and we're just kind of leaving it on the table. Because we don't, like... And it's not, like, the most rewarding one either, but, like, at the same time, it is, like, useful to keep pressure on Marth, because we don't get anything off, like, what we do instead. Imagine if we had, like, up-thrown him there, right?
Yeah.
Like, we could up-throw him, we could forward-throw him onto the ledge. He's at the knockdown. I think that he's... No, he's not at the knockdown percent yet. He's a bit above for forward throw. But, like, still, like, we have like, the ability to just, like, push him around a bit. So I think that... Yeah, so I think that is, like, that's something I would strongly consider doing more of. All in all, though, I like the structure of your play. I think the lasers are doing well. Really, like, I think that the things we've, like, talked about previously, like using lasers more liberally, understanding the purpose of them, I think that that's all good. Like, this is, like, definitely giving us more opportunities. It's just now we have to take them more.
For sure. And take a single neutral win and kind of, like, bank on it there instead of it turning into, like, 3 or 4 more, like, ambiguous interactions.
Yeah,
that
like,
don't have as many returns.
Yeah, like, here's another one. So, like, okay, we get this full hop down air, and he gets knocked over, right? So what I'm thinking here is, why don't we just shoot a laser? Why don't we just approaching laser?
Yeah.
Or, like, laser in place, and then, like laser in the same kind of spot that we had previously. Because, like, the way I view this situation is very similar to the last one. Like, if we come up and down and shoot if we come up, like, this is basically just the last situation, except we just didn't, like, use the laser proactively. Like, but if we come up and down with our short hop fast fall here, like, just drifting forward a little bit, you know, we can still fire the laser here. We can land about, like, here, in this spot, roughly. And then we can probably just dash, like, he's in the right position for us to be able to dash forward, jump cancel grab, like, dash jump cancel up smash. Like, we can definitely, like, do things to him here. Heck, we might even be able to, like, laser into, like, the dash jump cancel shine here. So, like, we have a lot of really good options available at our disposal, and that, like, set up a pretty guaranteed thing. And the other thing here is, like, with grab, like, hitting kind of far, like, with the laser connecting on him, right? If he doesn't get up, like, if he decides to play a minigame where he, like, lies on the ground for longer, then we get a reset. Like, we just get to F-smash him. So,
yeah.
I feel like going for the laser more aggressively here, like, though, it makes a lot of sense. Like, we land from, like, what came before this, what came before the, full hop down air? Like, what did we do after, like, to get after the full hop down air, what did we do? Do you remember?
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to play the game.
Yeah. Like, you dash forward and shield. And then, like, yeah, like, so after the full hop downer, you dash forward and shield. And I'm just like, what is this covering?
I think I expected get up attack.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. So this might be, like, this might reflect a need to understand animations. Like, to just, like, take a look and, like, familiarize yourself with, like, with what the animations look like. But, like, even looking back on this, I feel like we can agree this doesn't really look like a get-up attack.
No, totally not. Yeah, I think I just like was like, oh, Dare knocks down, Marth's on the ground. A lot of Marths I know just like to get up attack a lot, so I just kind of muscle memory, you know. But I wasn't really
Mm.
looking at the Marth more than likely. I was kind of just thinking about the knockdown. Yeah, like right there, like I was thinking, it maybe get up attack will happen.
What's interesting to me though is that like, if you are thinking get up attack will happen, couldn't it also make sense to like, I'm thinking that he swings behind you first and then swings in front. Couldn't we just like run forward and crouch cancel?
Yeah, that is the alternative.
Yeah, so I feel like we're not really playing around. Like, I feel like with this run up shield, we're not really playing around either option, like the get up attack, even all that well, because we're like letting him use the second part of the hit on us, on our shield, which is gonna be which is feels like it's gonna be a really awkward punish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just.
I get that. Yeah, I definitely need to crouch cancel get up attack more. I usually will just shield it and try to do something out of shield because that's just like a safer thing that I'm more used to, but it's definitely a lot less effective.
I do see why. I think I understand now why you went for shield though, because like I think you were like going to do it, but then you realized what your percent was, so then you kind of did the shield. So I think I actually get why you were doing this. So this makes sense.
I'm like falling off platform too, and sometimes I fall off without my jump and shit, and Marth get up attacks me, and it's just kind of scary.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But it doesn't make it good. It's just I have PTSD from Marth get up attack.
That's okay. Like again, these. So this I would say is good. I'm kind of surprised that like we're not shooting a laser over at him. Is there a reason why we're not like fire like why not Jed dash short hop laser over towards him? Oh, because you're going for the runoff double laser. I see. But still, you could still probably do that with like an advanced
a lot
laser.
sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Because the other thing here is that like, so here's my thinking. So we knock him off here, right? And then we like back air him off. Like, let's say we like immediately dash short op laser this way, like we shoot a high one. Doesn't that like kind of trap him if he like side Bs and then like the next lasers work?
Yeah, I could. I mean, if he's holding in, I can do like laser forward smash or like laser down smash too.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like we'd be over here. The laser comes like here. Because I'm thinking about the laser pattern you do after. Because like the two that you shoot after, I feel like are so like if we do the advancing laser like this and just like kind of do it in a way where we like clip the edge and like fall off and then come back up, then you wind up having basically like one laser here, like one laser between like here, then like as you're coming up you have like another two, which we'll do further out to like indicate where. Like, you kind of cover this kind of space, right? Like, this feels like such a good spread. Like, 1, 2, 3. Like, this, or even, like, these two can probably be interchanged because of that. But this feels like such a good spread for, like, covering his options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, the only thing is you have to, like, get the edge cancel here, which is tricky, but do you think that's something that, like, might be worthwhile? Because I feel like this first laser is important for, like, locking him into place.
For sure. Yeah, I'm basically like letting him go free if I don't hit that first laser. So I was just a little slow to get something out there, but I could definitely do something immediately afterwards.
Well, and the cool thing is that like those lasers still accomplish something, because like if you take a look at like how he goes off stage from that position, he still goes low. So we could have like this could have been a shine bear. Because of when you like grab the edge here.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like this is just let go of edge, like drop shine back air.
Totally.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I didn't even think about that.
Really? I feel like that's like such a common one for Falco. So yeah, like let's make a note of this one. So if Falco
I do it on occasion. I just never do it. I feel like right after I snag ledge when they're trying to like spare me at ledge, you know, like sometimes I'll just let Marth dip down or whatever, but I can just do it like instantly, you know.
Yeah, so like let's make this a process. So step 1 is Farrer side B whiffs. whiffs when, or actually this would be step 2, wouldn't it? Because step 1 would be grab edge.
Yeah. That was a cool screenshot, by the way.
Really? You like it?
Well, just like the fair animation and Falco like still invincible and stuff, like grabbing ledge, like I don't know. It's just like a well-timed collision.
Yeah, so that's why I saved it here, because I want us to be able to like recognize it while it's happening. Because like that's really like the trick to implementing these new plays. Like we want to make sure that we have a moment that like tells us that that's like, that helps us like have a heads up that this is coming up. So like this is why we're kind of like making this process like a few steps back. Because it's like fair side B, like we grab edge, fair side B whiffs. Cool. So then what comes after that? Drop shine, double jump bear, kill Marth. And then 4, double jump into bear or dare.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like, and the system works because we can see exactly like where he's gonna go. He has to go there. So we just go to the spot that he goes into, and then he gets punked.
Oh yeah.
Because like that's the big thing. Like everything from I remember when I skimmed this, everything from this point onwards looks super awkward. For the stock,
yes.
Like for this first stock of his, because yeah, like we're trying to like get things on him. We're trying to force hits. Like to me, like this should like we need to be grabbing way more. Like
Totally.
you hit the most like the one of the best like approaching lasers. Like you hit this, and then we're going for like F smash. You could have probably down tilted him actually, or forward tilted him. But like we need to be going for things that like cover like the hit windows like that we're actually like earning effectively, and
Yeah.
that should have worked. I think we just needed to do the jumps differently. But I think that you had the right idea there. That was like actually really good. Like let's see here. Yeah, we were just a little slow coming out of it, I think. Like we needed to jump here basically.
Yeah.
We could also consider up air or back air, like if he's that high.
Yeah, up air. I think like full hop, shine, turn around, double jump, back air could have also worked there.
Yeah, to like cover the jump out kind of thing.
Yeah, like underneath him and have my foot.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Like that was like some insane reflexes.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So this one, let's make another one. So we see that like Marth is gonna come back. I noticed that we want to like deal with his respawn. So with him double jumping here, actually no, you handled it well, because with him double jumping there to like cover that spot, he can't do anything. So yeah, this is fine. I think that I still would have liked us to go to top platform at some point, but
yeah, I get that.
Talk to me about this combo choice.
If I get the up air, it's fire.
Okay.
So I get in the nair, shine.
Can we down air him here and bring him towards the platform? Because I know that normally that's kind of wacky, but like with him being so close to the platform, can we bring him onto it?
Yeah. If I hit the fastball, I can do like dare into like up tilt, like forward smash or something, or just shine straight up.
Yeah. So I feel like that stands to be like so good with him being like right above the platform.
Yeah, no, I got that. It was definitely riskier on my part to go for the up air.
Yeah. It's like the second shine I think is just a little ambitious. I think we need to like, so what are the best follow-ups that you can get on Marth? Like structurally, what are the most powerful follow-ups you can get on Marth when you hit him with like with an aerial with like a shine in that position? Like if you get this shine,
I mean down air. Like if you can get the pillar, if you can actually get the pillar, it is by far the biggest reward.
Okay. So like here, this is like, so, and how possible is the pillar here?
It's really hard. You have to see, like, the reason why I went for shine there partially is because like I was too slow to get there. I got like turned around in my shine, forehand. So I'm thinking, oh, if I get him to top platform like without his jump, basically, then like if I get an up air, then I can just like actually pillar him like afterwards, while I have him in the air and I'm like on top plat.
Gotcha. So like so maybe we should be like looking at how we can clean up the top platform then. Because because if it's not possible because you got stuck in your shine and then like wound up lasering or something, that I get that. So is there a case for like jumping on like, so the up air, when the up air misses, what should we be doing here, I guess?
Probably up tilting.
I have a different suggestion, but I don't know if you're gonna like it or not. It's very, very baity, but it's very, very good if it works.
What do we got?
Well, so I'm thinking we drop through the platform. The reason the reason I say drop through the platform is because we drop through the platform. If he side B's up there again, we can just double jump up and hit him. If he comes down with down air, we just fall to the ground without fast falling, and then we double jump up and hit him.
True.
Yeah, and then if he like it's basically like we just get to like kind of check what he's doing while we're on the way down. And if he doesn't bite, like if he just auto cancels and lands, then we just continue falling and we're safe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, that is kind of cool. I do love double jump baits, but I haven't really used it that much with this situation on the platform too much. So that is cool.
Yeah, because like the idea is that like we're basically setting it up so that we fall through the platform, and you can kind of like delay it. Like you don't have to do it right now. You want him to be falling. So like once he starts falling, we shield drop here. If he swings his down air, then we just come back up. Like here, we'll use a different color for us. But like if he swings with his down air, we just come back up, and then we just spinny kick him. And then if he like commits up here with his like side B, like if he does the side B swing, like then we just come up early. Like we come up early, like we shield drop and then just come up immediately and hit him back down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be so nasty if I can do that to people.
The other thing that also might make sense is like we come up here, we can just like hop. We can also just like if it's too fancy, if that's a little too fancy, we can also just run off the side. Like remember, Marth is facing this way. His back air is not that good. So like if he comes down and swings with his dare or like fair, like which cover these zones, and we run off this way, like it's easy for us to like pop up and just like come on top of him. So it's all kind of figuring. Yeah, it's like we're all just like figuring out a way to like kind of like get back over him, or wait for him to miss when he lags here. So we're using like the juggle state positional advantage effectively. But in addition to using that effectively, we're also kind of like whiff punishing him because he's highly incentivized to swing to try to protect himself.
See.
Neat, huh?
Yeah, I'm excited to bait people more because I'm having more knowledge of like what people are doing and like the timing that they're doing it at. I just sometimes will like with my intended I guess like with punish, but I think like shield dropping is just a lot safer than a lot of other options in general too.
Well, yeah, and the other thing here is that like by proactively shield dropping before he like even comes down at us, like my concern with up tilting, because the up tilt usually works. I'm sure the up tilt is like somewhat like has a decent hit consistency, but my concern is that against like somebody like who's the Marth that's stronger than this guy? Vintage, yeah. So my concern against Vintage is that he's gonna know that you're incentivized to up tilt here, so he's gonna just compete his move with yours. And Marth's move is still ultimately more disjointed than yours. So what he's going to do is he's going to like put a lot of focus into timing these things correctly. And then or he might even counter, because counter is an option for this guy too. And then if we're committing to like early up tilt to try to like cut off his cut off his down air, we're ultimately still playing a 50-50. Like we're ultimately still playing a guessing game with him. But by getting out of the way of him, what we've done by getting out of the way of him in some capacity first, what we've done is we are abusing the fact that he is in that no matter what happens, there's going to be a window where we can hit him when he touches this thing. When he touches the platform, there is always an opening.
Oh yeah.
Because there's always 4F landing minimum, which means that there is always at least that amount of inaction for us to rely on. In fact, that's actually an argument for holding shield here, believe it or not, because that means that we can just shield drop into shine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we have a lot of, like, so I would say is, like, shielding on plat, no, shielding on plat, plat or evase, or evasion, to force, no, evasion to, abuse Marth's landing, no, to abuse, opponent landing.
Juggle.
Opponent in juggle state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, like, we don't have to, like, the thing is, we don't have, like, while the up tilt is powerful, we technically don't have to do anything at all here.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, we are in such a good position because he has no, like, he's used his float side B, I think, and I think he might still have his jump, maybe. I'm not sure, but, like, at the end of the day, like, we don't have to actually do anything to, like, have an opening. The opening is gonna come. We just have to see it. We just have to make sure we act when it arrives, and
yeah.
evasion and you know, abusing the power, like the utility of shield drop, like, those just do a better job of doing those things. I can see what you mean about this guy, like, being super reactive, though. He is, like, just waiting and, like, chilling.
Yeah.
Like, my goodness, like, the amount of shine grabs that this guy gives us. Look at how, like,
I will learn how to. I'm excited.
Yeah, because, like, look at this. He's just vibing. He, like, moves out of shield after, like, and I get it, like, but I get why we're not, like, why, like, the reward of grabbing is not that high, and I totally get it, but, like, throwing him off stage and then, like, giving ourselves, like, a 1-in-4 or 1-in-3 to kill him is still, like, I think significantly better than what we're kind of doing right now. Because right now we're just kind of, like, hoping that he goes into the spots where he, like, where we're going when we back off, but, like, we don't have to back off. Like,
I tried to get the pillar there, but it did not.
What happened here? So why didn't this work? Let's see here.
Too early.
Yeah, we just missed him. Like, we didn't actually hit the move after the shine.
Yeah.
Is it that you're trying to, like, go directly from the shine into, like, the aerial?
No, I think I just wanted to, like, fast fall on top of him, I guess, like, properly, and I probably just did it too fast. That was, like, an overcorrection.
Gotcha. Because I noticed that, like, on some of these combo attempts, you're, like, hitting him with, like, with aerial shine, and you're, like, wave dashing away from him, or not wave dashing out of it, like your short hop lasering. Do we need to?
Yeah.
Is it possible that, like, there's just, are you not sure when you're gonna hit him or not?
Sometimes I think, like, the spacing just feels kind of weird, and my fingers kind of default to, like, a safe, like, guaranteed little chip versus, like, a full punish. It's kind of weird, but that does happen sometimes, I feel like.
So in addition to the things we were talking about with, like, grabbing and stuff, and, like, using evasion, I would strongly recommend, the biggest thing that I would have you work on is just trying not to do that. Like, the default should be we're going in.
Yeah, I agree. I've been actually, like, on that wave last, like, couple days or so, and it's been super, like, fun, actually. It's been Melee way more fun. And I feel like I'm playing better because of it, because I'm more, like, in the moment, like, kind of, like, joyous, you know.
Yeah.
But whenever I like surrender myself to playing scared, it just never works out, because, like, I'm just scared of, like, me trying my best, like, not being good enough. But I feel like It's like, but it is good enough a lot of the time, and I need to like remember that.
Well,
So
not only that, but if you try your best and it's not good enough, why is that such a big deal? It's not like this is the last set. It's just the best that you are right now.
yeah,
It's not like you're done growing. It's not like you're done learning. It's just the best you have to offer right in this moment. But
yeah,
there's a lot of Melee still to be played. There's a lot of Melee that still will be played. And it doesn't really like all it mean if you try your best, like if you try your very best versus Zane, like do you think that you can do you think and happens to play his very best, do you think you're beating Zane?
nope,
And is that such a big deal?
nah.
Right. So like why is it a big deal here? Or versus
I don't know.
anyone?
I don't know. I think for losing individually can just hurt every time. But taking it in a healthy way and being humbled by losing, I think is just very important.
Yeah. Humility is what it's hard because as competitors, like it is fun to feel powerful. But humility is the only solution to pride. And it's the only solution to shame because what humility does is it allows us to it allows us to show up basically and just be us. Flawed, incomplete, we don't have all the answers, but that's okay because no one does. And if we don't have them today, we will figure them out for next time. But yeah, if we don't show up as the best version of ourselves as we can, then what we have done is we've made the improvement process really difficult because we now have the confounding variable of, well, what things were on point and what things were not on point. Like what things were like selectively not on point and what things were not selectively on point, right? It just adds so much muck. And like especially when when we're seeing that this is impacting like foundational parts of our character like punish game, we need to be willing to just do whatever it takes to like show up as ourselves against like when that's happening because like we can't play Falco without comboing. Like the end of the day, like he is the original combo character. Like we have to be able to like hit the bird feet.
Absolutely. And when I'm playing my best, I'm comboing the shit out of people and it's so fun and I just need to like feel like I'm able to. I don't know. I feel like there's innately this mental barrier that I have, especially when I'm fighting someone that I haven't beaten before, or I perceive to be better than me. It's just like there's this like innate like second guessing to like the viability like of an idea that I have, and like an idea is just like an idea, It's not like one thing or another thing. So I just need to treat every opponent, as just kind of this character that I'm fighting, not like this player with these like, results and my perception of them. Because like obviously I try not to think about it, but I think it unknowingly or like innately kind of influences my anxiety like going into a match.
Sure, and like that's all of that is super super duper normal.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
as humans, we are hardwired to like patterns. We really like it when things conform to our expectations. As a result, we have expectations on everything. It's just part of being us. But they don't help us when we're fighting someone who is trying to kill us with like a giant sword. So what we need to do, I think that like what we need is we need a better process of identifying when that's happening. And like, cause let me ask you, when you're fighting this guy and you have the anxieties coming up and like you start to like second guess your play, are we acknowledging that or are we fighting it still?
Sometimes I acknowledge it and it gets close, but I still don't clutch it out. But yeah, the times that I'm really stubborn about it is when I just get fucked. Like, yeah, I just get like destroyed this stuck.
Yeah, so is it that so the one thing I would say is the anxiety, like the acknowledgement of anxiety does not mean that we suddenly play well enough to beat our opponent. That's just not how it
Yeah.
works. all it does is allow us to show up. All it does is it allows us to show up and be more present and see the game a little more clearly. It doesn't mean that we're going to like win a set where we're outmatched or where the opponent has like a skill set that we don't know how to deal with yet. That's just the reality of it. But the advantage to being present, even with all that said, there is still one critical advantage that being able to show up and be present has over not. So, have you ever lost to someone? And if you're not, like, have you ever lost to someone and you kind of described, and you weren't really present, like, you just were like, you're in your own head, things happen, and when somebody asked you how you lost to them, your mind, you don't know how, but your mind had this, like, this story concocted, or, like, maybe it did it right then and there, but it, like, made up some reason why you lost that just kind of conformed with your expectations. Like, you know, they camped me, they played lame, they, like, they wobbled me, like something like that. Has it that ever?
Sure. Yeah, not like frequently. I try not. I try to not be reductive of people's like, you know, like ability to beat me or whatever, even if it feels like silly. You know, like I got hit by some stupid shit or whatever. But like, yeah.
So yeah, and then now here's the flip side. Have you ever then when that's happened, have you ever then gone back and rewatched the match and realized that what you said they beat you with wasn't at all what they beat you with?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
And how often would you say that happens when you're present?
Like never.
Right. Because it doesn't, when we're, so this is like a very dirty trick our brains play on us. Our brains are really good at filling in information because we're so adaptive. We're so, like, incredibly good at, like, filling in context. It's unreal. Like, the brain is crazy. The brain is, like, OP as heck. But
oh yeah,
it has the problem of sometimes getting a little bit of taking creative liberties, we'll call them, with the story. And the problem with these creative liberties is that what they do for us is that if we don't have an explanation for why something happened, it will draw on context, it will draw on experience, it'll draw on similar times we felt like this, and it will make something up. Because that's really what it's doing when it's creating the reductive story. It's just making up whatever fits the bill for this particular emotional cocktail that we have. And unfortunately, that makes the improvement process really difficult, because now we are focusing our improvement efforts on something that didn't happen. That has nothing to do with the game we played at all.
It's like editing like faulty code.
It is like editing faulty code. And the thing is, if we're not careful to be present, our brain will just keep churning it out and churning it out, because it needs, if there's one thing the brain hates more than anything, it is not knowing something.
Yeah.
It hates uncertainty. The idea that things can just happen out for no reason whatsoever, our brain despises that. So what it will do in lieu of an answer is it will make something up. We want to prevent it from doing that, but the only way that we can prevent it from doing that is to simply be. And that means being us, even when things are not ideal, even when we know we're anxious, even when we know we're down 4-1 and we're probably not going to win this game, but we want to try anyway because this game matters to us, and it hurts because and it feels weird and uncomfortable because it matters, but it's basically over. But like, it's only really when we kind of embrace those things that we can then make a 4-1 comeback, because like, that's really where it all, like, people say it's the first stock, that's where it starts. No, it happens, the comeback process happens way before then. It happens with the decision to say that, like, this game is probably over, but I'm not giving up anyway. That's when it really starts.
Yeah, when there's nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm. Because either way, you're going to be fine after this game. You've lost before. You've been 4-stuck before. We all have. It's one of the few things we all have in common.
That's true. Even Armada got 4-stock.
It wasn't often, but it happened.
Yeah. Certainly watched that dude 4-stock a lot more people than the latter, but yeah.
Yeah, it was all. You know what? If you look at his stats, he was a freak of nature. Like, he was.
Yeah.
He was so much better than everyone. I'm sorry, Mango. Like, if you're watching this, like, you're the best. You're the greatest player of all time, but he is the best player of all time.
Nah, absolutely. I've always, because there was just a presence that just felt different, you know. Like it's like, I just remember after Armada retired, and then all these different people started winning majors, and I was like, like wonder why. Like the entire, like the biggest entity in the ecosystem just died.
Yeah,
you know,
we literally removed the apex predator. Didn't.
Yeah. like that dude. A dude just had a fucking like magnetism around his ability to win things, like just an iron will, you know. He was never gonna have a day like Armada or like Muta King or Mango or Hungry Box or PP or Leffen where they're just like I didn't feel it today. I got 9, you know. Like if that happened to Armada, he would be fucking disgraced.
Yeah, and like I think that like he was a very unique. The one thing that I think made him such a good one of the things I think that made him such a good competitor is that he still, even when he was feeling sick at like pound 4, like to him dropping out of the tournament was not even on his mind. Like I think he's dropped out of like 2 tournaments in his like decade-long career.
Dropped out of EGLX 2016, I think.
Yeah, and I don't even know if there was a second one. I think that's the only one. But like, he showed up and he was like, this is what I've got. These are the cards I have today. And we're going to turn them into a winning hand. Because I'm Armada. Like, and I want to win. This is important to me.
He still got 4th.
Yeah. Like, actually, like... He was sick and dying and just chugging like I was there. Like he was sick and dying and chugging Fanta like it was like the last water on Earth, and he still played to 4th place.
Yeah.
Unreal. And I think that like it's easy for us to I think that like it's easy for us to like make up reasons why we're not gonna win, why we're like not playing well, like why this matchup's hard. Like it's so easy to do that, but what's difficult is being vulnerable. It's difficult to like wake up and say that, yeah, like, know what, things are not ideal, but I'm gonna do my best anyway, and we'll see what happens. That's hard, but that's also the kind of like the only way that we really like can see the games clearly and improve properly.
Yeah. By being our true self, because otherwise we're fighting like these like shadow threats that you're talking about that our brain creates out of fucking thin air. Uniquely, each our own, you know.
Yeah, like when people talk about like their matchup demons, really I think what they're just referring to a lot of the time is just our tendency to like our brain will mint a story about like why we didn't win. Whether like if we don't know the answer, our brain will come up with one. Because it's what a brain does. It's an incredible processing unit. But that also means it's really dangerous if we let it if we leave it to its own devices, it gets really, really dangerous. So yeah, it's just something to be aware of. On that note, I think we've talked a lot about mindset today, and we've got some concrete things for you to work on. Well, how do you view our last 10 minutes being productive? Like, what's on your mind?
I'm not sure. I am sure. I am having a great time with this mentality discussion because, like, I feel like a lot of the game, like, I don't know. I've been playing against a lot of Marth, recently. Like, my friend Lizzie has been like grinding tournaments, and we had this session recently where it's the first time I've actually ever done this. We took we did like 4 games in a row, and then we recorded it, and then we like analyzed it like in slow motion, and then we just like did that like 4 different times. We just did like a cluster of 4 games, and then just break down the interactions and stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's so good for improvement. So what did you learn from that? I'm just hitting buttons. I'm just hitting buttons because I like hitting buttons.
No, like it like hurt my brain because I was like actually like doing like a melee workout, you know. It was the first time I'd like ever like done that in a way to where I was like, oh wow, like, you know, like I mean, like I was winning most of the games, right? Because you know I was better than I'm better than Lizzie, so it's just like I was dominating like a lot of the interactions. But then Lizzie would like deliberately stop doing them and then get better openings, and then I had to adapt too. And then like as the games went on, eventually I was like four stocking Lizzie because I had just figured out like everything that was going on. And then I actually won a tournament a couple days ago.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah. I made the dude really salty when I beat him both times. I 6-0'd him. And
I would be salty about that. Yeah, no, that tracks.
yeah, but he just kept saying like Falco's bullshit, and all you do is keep spamming laser and down air, and usually people are like pretty like polite and like friendly and stuff, so it's very funny. Yeah, he was a bitch, and then I went to a fest yesterday, and then like 3 different people also just bitched about me beating them. So honestly, I'm like fucking thriving. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just like because like I don't know, my friend Kevin, his tag is like Mr. Sun. He gets like a lot of shit from people. I don't even think he plays in like a degenerate way. I just think that like he is at that level, you know, where he's like maybe within like 10 spots of the PR or so. So you know, if you lose to him, it's probably, you know, pretty frustrating because he's either beating a ranked player that feels like they shouldn't be losing to him, or it's like these people want to be better than him. Kevin keeps, you know, stopping their bracket runs and shit. And I realized like oh, I feel like people were always polite with me because like I've like at least to like the important people at the local, like I wasn't like a threat to them. But like now I am, and it's like annoying.
Ah, so you're encountering the curse of success.
Yes. And I
So,
love it.
you love it. Okay, you know what? Honestly, good on you. Because, like, I had, like, a weird relationship with success when I was getting good. Like, I didn't like success. Like, I liked it because I was poor, but, like, I didn't like it because, like, you know, like, it was hard to practice. Oh, let's go. I'm Mango.
What happened?
Oh, I was just saying that, like, I liked it. I liked being successful when I was kind of getting into the game, like on my first kind of come up, because I was poor, so it was money. But I didn't like it because a lot of my training partners started to disappear, and a lot of them were my friends. So like that kind of hurt. But I think that like in a way, looking back on it, it was also kind of a good lesson because it kind of teaches you who your friends are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
really.
like the ones that are happy for your success, those are the yeah.
Yeah, like Kush and I have been grinding more than like ever. Like we played at a tournament yesterday. He got second, I got third. First place was a Sheik player named Seven, who's one of the PR'd people in MDVA. They're like definitely like top 100 level in skill, but they go to college in like Indiana and don't really travel, so they go to like one thing a year and get like 17th or whatever.
Gotcha. So you beat this person?
No. This person got first.
Okay.
But yeah, Kush got second and I got third though, which is nice.
Let's go.
So we've been starting to occupy this like higher and higher spots in bracket, which is awesome. I'm excited to. I don't know. I'm not quite at the tier that's like a tier below the PR. Like that's definitely like a buffer, but I think I'm the group like below that.
That's amazing. Like you were like I don't know I don't think you were pushing those kinds of numbers when we started. Or like
no, I think I was like a step behind. I think like I was placing really consistently, but I was always just like going like 3 and 2, maybe like 4 and 2, you know? Sometimes like I don't know, sometimes I'd get like third at the local or whatever. Sometimes I'd get second if it was, you know, like not as stacked. But yeah, I think I'm picking up like different wins every week because I'm just looking at the game like fundamentally differently now,
I
and it
think
just like
I think that no, you're getting so much stronger. I guess my big question here is when you were fighting against Lizzie, because I'm really curious about something. When she started calling, because I imagine that like if you're getting blown up by if you're blown up by Falco as Marth, one of the big things that you would have to do is you'd have to figure out how to get the grabs. How did she start going for those, and what did you do about them? Do you remember any of that?
She kept retreating into the corner pretty much, and I kept just like naring into the corner and then just getting like big pillars out of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So then Lizzie would start like CC grabbing, you know, or like power shield grabbing, and then getting me off stage into like an edge guard. So I just started I started just going for more like wave dash back, just like baits, or I started like crossing up Lizzie's shield also, which I feel like is like super good, like wave landing on like side flat. But honestly, like the biggest thing is I think there's no like one singular like option. I feel like when I'm playing now, there's just so many more options on the table at any given moment for me that it feels like I can like thread the needle. Like I don't know. It feels like I can like I can like enact pressure on people in a way that's like also like it feels right, it's effective, and it like fulfills like the niche like combat wise, you know. I feel like there's just something about my brain that's now like working more in the background, kind of piecing together like bodies of people's game plans, you know, so that once we have played a while and I am like adjusted, it just kind of becomes this just like very like calm, unconscious kind of just like enactment of my plan. And I don't know. I think before I would always be like second guessing my knowledge as opposed to like, you know, like qualifying it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But now it feels like the various qualifications that I make, I'm not only able to like retain, but also like expand upon them like actively. I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, all of this makes perfect sense, and I think that this is a direction I very much encourage you to explore further. Keep feeding that process. One thing I would say is that you mentioned that they're getting power shield grabs and CC grabs. That should not be possible if you do your low dares and low nairs correctly. So one challenge I think I might have for you is try to see if you can figure out how to make those two work.
Okay.
Because low dare and no low nair, they should not generally, I guess, be CC grabbable if done correctly. So I think I think that nor shield grabbable for that matter.
Yeah.
So one challenge I think I might have for you, so that because I think like one thing that can happen sometimes, and this is why I'm bringing them up, is because in the flurry of new options, it can sometimes be tempting to find something that like trickier, that doesn't like a cross up, for example, or a bait with a wave dash, something like very tricky, something very sneaky that works really effectively against one opponent. And I think that like it's easy for us to understand how it fits into the bigger picture against other opponents, but it is still ultimately representing a moment where we're not applying the maximum amount of pressure that we could be, or like the best balance of pressure and safety that we could be to the opponent, because those two moves still do technically work on some of the counterplay that you're describing Lizzie doing. So this allows us to then like apply even more force more precisely, and then it further constricts Lizzie's options in terms of how she can retaliate. And then that means that like when we do go for like the alternatives, they're a lot more meaningful because we're not using them for things that could have been accomplished with just stronger basics. And I think that's like a really important thing here.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because we started with like laser for me. I feel like, I mean, I guess like with Tri, you know, we started with like positioning and you know like the sort of like utilizing platforms more and utilizing like the wealth of options as opposed to like sticking to one. So I guess we started with like movement, and then like now we're on laser, and now it makes sense that like my two primary hitboxes that'll be colliding with the most on average, I need to like
That needs to come
sharpen them as
next.
much as possible.
Yeah, like we need to get like your lasers looked phenomenal. I think that like now we just need to get your aerials to the same place where your lasers are. In
Yeah.
terms of like refinement, because once we have that, then we can really just go wherever.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. So we have hit our hour. So I'm gonna but again, I don't want to like kick you off or anything. But is there anything you
Good.
need from me before the Is there anything you need from me before the weekend, or like? Well, actually, are you going to Gommel? You're not going to Gommel, are you?
No, I'm not going to Gombo. I'm going to a smaller tournament in Pennsylvania called Rapture.
Okay.
So I'm going with Kush. So yeah, hopefully we can win, or one of us can win. But we'll see what happens.
I think I want to see like I think that like my ideal thing here, and I'm actually gonna like actually no, I'll leave this up if Kush sees this, whatever. I think my ideal thing would be if it could be like pound 5, where like I think that like Kush would like body you in like winners finals, but then you just come back with a vengeance and win the tournament. Like like a 10 set grand finals, but like you win. Like I think that would be like ideal. Like that would just be so sick. And yeah, just something like that I think would be a phenomenal. But whatever happens either way, I hope that you two both kill it. And
Thank you.
And yeah, if you need any like touch-ups or like advice on any of this stuff, or like just to like clarify anything before the tournament, it's gonna be a little harder to reach me with Gommel, but if you send it to me before Saturday, I will try to get back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Are you competing at Gommel, or are you
I
just going?
am.
Are you playing Ness or Sheik?
I'm playing my Ness.
Oh my god, let's go.
Yeah, Ness is gonna go places that people didn't think possible with him. 97th, let's go. No kidding, like...
Let's go. Let's get the highest ranked Nest at a major since 2004.
Oh my god, I don't know if I can get 9th, but like we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, but this was great. I hope it worked for you too. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Till next time, I guess.
Sounds good. Bye, KK. I'll let you know if Andy goes.
Sounds good. Take care.
Yeah.